Okay, one of the main resources that we use is oil. So this lesson is just simply about thinking about oil production and oil consumption. Oil production, where oil comes from and how we get it. Quite simply, two main things that oil is used for: fuel for vehicles and producing electricity in power stations. But where do we get it from? We get it from under the ground, under the sea as well, using things like this, oil rigs. Essentially, just a big tube stuck under the seabed, and the oil is sucked up from underneath the seabed. It's then transported via pipes, or sometimes oil tankers like this, huge ships. This ship here, probably about the size of 3 or 4 football pitches. Once it gets through the pipes and the tankers, it's taken to a number of places. Either the oil refinery, where the oil is turned into fuel, like aircraft fuel or petrol or diesel or various other things, or it gets taken straight to the power station, where it's burnt. That heat is used to boil water. The steam that's produced is used to drive a turbine, which then produces electricity. Now, in terms of oil usage over the last 30 or 40 years, this graph here highlights the key points. As you can see, North America has always, over the last 40 years, been a very high user of oil, as has this light blue section here, Europe and Eurasia. It has grown over the last 40 years, but even in 1965, Europe and North America were the biggest users. The key changes here are Asia Pacific. The amount of oil that's been used has increased an awful lot over the last 40 years or so, from maybe 1 million barrels a day to something like 30 million barrels a day now. Remember, oil is measured in barrels. A barrel is approximately 150 litres. So a key question like this, using a map or a graph, would be would probably come up in the first section of this question in the exam. In terms of oil producers, these are the key countries here. You can see most of them: Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Iran, Iraq. Between them, produce about 60% of the world's oil. Key important term here: peak oil. The point at which oil production reaches its maximum level then declines. That's when the country may say, right, well, there's no oil left under the ground. We're not finding any more. All we've got is what we've already found. And then production starts to decrease, and eventually that oil will run out, and countries will have to figure out exactly where a lot of their income is coming from, because particularly countries like Saudi Arabia have become some of the richest countries in the world thanks to selling oil.